welcome back to my channel. My name is Pat, and today I am bringing you guys my 2018 reading wrap-up and my 2019 reading goals. Now, I have my Goodreads page, year in review, year 2018 in books, open right here, so I will be looking here, and I have my 2019 goals open here as well. So, for the year 2018, I read a total of 101 books and 41,129 pages. That is great. Now, my initial goal for this year was actually, I think, 50, around that, 50 or 60. Because I thought that this was going to be a very, very busy year, because we did move from a different country to another. So, I thought it was going to be very busy, especially with work, finding work, working, all that. So I thought I won't be able to read a lot. But I did. So I changed that as the year went by. I changed it to, I think, 75, and then eventually I changed it to 90, and then, I think a few weeks ago I changed to 95. I was actually thinking of changing it again to 100, but it's like, if I reach 100, then, fine, that can be my goal, but still, I don't want to change it last minute. So I did read more than what I was, aiming for, which is great. I didn't think I was going to be reading that much, but still, Okay, so the shortest book that I read this year is 25 pages, which is a novella from Patricia and I's The Knife of Never Letting Go series. I don't know if that is the name, but that's the name of the first book. It's 25 pages, and the longest book is Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. It's 980 pages, so almost 1,000. Wow, okay. And the average length of books that I read is 407 pages, which is pretty good. For me, the average book would be like 350 to 450 pages, and like 407 is right in the middle. So that is the average book that I read. The most popular book that I read is The Book Thief by Margaret Cusack. 1,384,515 people read this book. And my least popular is Grey Bell by Lynette Noni, where 1,122 people read it. My average rating for the year is 4.2. And as I said on my 2018 top books, I did read quite a lot of really good books this year. I didn't really have a lot of books that I hated. Actually, no, I didn't really hate any book this year. But there are books that I kind of disliked. I don't think I'll ever hate a book unless it's like talking about a topic that I'm just so against, or probably the execution, or talking about sensitive topics that I completely disagree. Probably that's when I'm going to hate a book, but I didn't really read books of that kind this year. The highest rated book that I read is Kingdom of Ash again. It is rated at 4.65. My first review of the year is The First 15 Lines of Harry August. Well, I rated all of my books this year, I believe, if not most. The only reason why it's written as my first review is I think that's the first book that I actually written a review on Goodreads. My last review of the year is The Last Time I Lied by Riley Seeger. This is also my last book that I read this year. Now, for the year 2018, I didn't really, because I knew I was going to be very busy, I didn't really make a lot of, reading goals. I wanted to read more fiction and maybe read a classic. Non-fiction, I mean. I wanted to read more non-fiction and read at least one classic if I can. But I didn't really read any classic this year, did I? Maybe one modern classic? I'm not sure. Is Margaret Cusack's Book Thief considered modern classic? I don't know, but more of the traditional classics that we had, because I don't really read and enjoy any or a lot of classics. So yeah, my 2018 was, I didn't really have any kind of massive goals, because I knew I was going to be busy. I didn't really want to have that pressure on me, but I did read quite a few nonfiction books. I think I read 4 or 5 nonfiction books this year. I read The Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I read Dear Joelle, Feminist Manifesto. I read A Room of One's Own. I think I read another nonfiction. Or maybe I only read 3. But in any case, those are my those are the books that I read this year. Oh, the previous year. It's 2019 right now. Alright, so my 2019 goals. For 2019, I'm planning on, I've already set my reading goal to 75 in Goodreads. That's a good amount. I might change that. Let's see how this year's going to go. But I definitely, now some people like to change their reading goals throughout the year, and some people hate doing that. But for me, it has to be a challenge. It's a reading challenge. If I came to a point where I'm reading too fast or too many, and eventually I'm going to go way beyond my reading goal, then I'll change it to something higher. Or I don't want to change it to something lower, because I'm not planning on reading any less than 6 books a month. But we'll see. If I'm too far behind, then I'll change it. But if I'm pretty much going the right pace, I won't really change it. That's my first goal of the year, my first general goal of the year. My second goal is to read at least 3 to 5 nonfiction books. So read at least 3, maybe 3 to 5 nonfiction books. If I can go beyond that, better. But that's like my main goal in terms of nonfiction. And then for classics, I'm aiming to read at least 2 classics, or maybe 3 classics, around that. Because, as I said, I haven't really found a classic that I really like, and I find I don't really enjoy reading reading classics so far from what I've tried reading before. But yeah, if you've seen my book outlet haul, I did buy, I think, 2 classic books. Having that is going to motivate me to read them, I hope. Another reading goal that I have is to read some poem books, because I read a lot of novels. I read mostly novels. I read, like in 2018, they're all novels or novellas. So I want to read a poem book, because I love poems, and I feel like I keep forgetting that I do enjoy poems, and I do love poems, because I don't really read a lot of books, poem books. I'm thinking right now if reading Langleaf books. Another goal that I'll have for this year is, because I don't really reread a lot of books, I am planning on rereading some books. Particularly my all-time favorite book, which is Stargirl, which I had my sister read last year. And she liked it. So I'm going to reread Stargirl. I'm also planning on rereading some of my older, favorite books, favorite series books, which is Sweet Valley. I loved reading Sweet Valley when I was younger. And, I read some Sweet Valley for middle school and YA and adult Sweet Valley. And definitely now I am planning on reading some Sweet Valley University books. I think I searched on my library. I think they only have 2 or 3 Sweet Valley University books. So I'm probably just gonna read those. I don't really remember any particular book that I read in the Sweet Valley universe, but do a reading journal or reading statistics. I got this from BooksWithEmilyFox. She's been doing this, I think, since last year. But yeah, I will be doing reading statistics on my computer, on my laptop. I've already started with my 2019 reading statistics, because I'm currently reading this humongous book. So I've already put that in. I'm also planning on doing a physical reading journal log, which is this one. I downloaded this online. I just searched free printables of reading journal logs things. I'm probably going to compile this and put it somewhere, bind it together, because I don't want to be just finding this everywhere. I don't want to bunch it up or destroy the paper, because I want to keep it in pristine condition as much as I can. I will try to do this as much as I can, because some of my BookTube goals as well is to, well, number 1 is consistency, of course, and that is to upload at least 1 video per week, which is, in my case, pretty much going to be the reading vlog, and then do a monthly wrap-up, and then do an in-depth review of a book every month or 2. So I'm gonna be needing this one. Well, the reading log and TBR, that's going to be really easy. But I also have this, which is a short review of some of the books I'm probably gonna read, and a book journal, which is where I'm gonna put my notes for my in-depth review of a book that I'm going to decide to do. So I'm gonna do that every month or 2. I initially wanted to do it every month, but I know that it's going to be pretty hard for me to do. So I'm just gonna do like every month or two, depending on what I decide to review. I think that's all of my reading goals this year. I don't really like doing a lot of very complex or a lot of like one after the other reading goals because, well, number one, I know that my year isn't going to be like the freest for me to read because I'm working two jobs, so I don't really like pressuring myself to do something. I want to be able to have like freedom to kind of manipulate the goals, or because if I'm too pressured, I have a tendency to procrastinate. That's part of being a perfectionist. If I know I'm not gonna do something perfectly or in the way that I know is going to be perfect for me or good for me, I'm not gonna do it, or I'm going to procrastinate until I have to do it. So, but yeah, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. You can check out some of my other videos right here, and I will see you on my next video. Bye, and have a good year.